knew this was gonna be a drag, but I didn't know it was gonna be this lame.
Hey everyone, what's happening? Today I'll be reviewing the SHF Shikamaru figure today. This time I'll try speaking a little bit slower because I was watching my last video and let's just say that I was speaking a bit too fast and some words were unintelligible. So I'm reviewing the Shikamaru figure. I am doing a voiceover because the audio is clearer and also I just was yapping a bit too much and it didn't sound authentic. So we're gonna go over this today. Here's the box, window carton and everything. I did already open it beforehand, but like the only piece of plastic that came with it was like on the torso. You can see the back pictures or whatever. So yeah, this was a little bit of a hit or miss release for Tamashii Nations, I feel like, because everyone had been concerned because the pre-orders came out like forever ago and then the QC issues started popping up the second the figure came out with the faceplates, and that's what this figure's notorious for. So we'll see how bad the QCs get. Let's get into it. So right out the box we do have the standard green cardboard and the instructions which show you how to switch out the pocket pieces. Now when I first got them, I was a bit surprised. So when I was looking at the figure, I'll get into that later, there's seam lines for you to pop out the pockets, and I thought it was a QC issue. I was like, what the fuck? But turns out, I thought it was like the Teen Gojo pockets where it's just like a hand piece, but no, they actually molded it so you can put the hands inside the pockets. Here's the shadow technique piece. It's just a clear piece of acrylic plastic, but it's pretty good quality for what it is, and you only need to peel it off from one side. Green piece of cardboard, bye-bye. And then here's the figure tray. Pretty much that's like everything it comes with. There's nothing crazy to look at. Shikamaru is a pretty basic looking character. And here's the accessories I'll be going over. It comes with four face plates and 6 pairs of hands. 2 of them are stuck together, but they still look really good. And then the lighter, and then Azuma's kunai, and the pocket pieces, and 2 relaxed hands. Wait, that's part of the... What am I talking about? So here's the Shadow Jutsu techniques, hand palms. As you can see, I'm kind of fiddling with them right there. And here's the pocket pieces. Nothing too crazy going on, honestly. I think this review is just more so like critical than anything because it's like whatever. I feel like the Marvel Legends is just like chaotic, but this one's very, very tame. He has 2 holding hands to hold the kunai that come with the Naruto figure. If you have any extra kunai, I mean, I'm sure you do laying around, you can just pop that in there. Like with 2 hands that work like the Chainsaw Man hands where they split at the fingers, so you can put the kunai in there. And then 2 lighter holding hands and 2 relaxed hands for whatever you need. And here's the lighter. Has a good paint app, nothing too crazy. And here's a kunai. It's really sharp and I like it a lot. I like the chrome finish. It's a pretty good accessory. Now here's the faces that everyone's concerned about. So here's the 4 expressions. Now when I went to GameStop, they had like 2 of these figures, and one was on the floor and one was behind the counter. I got the one behind the counter because one on the floor, the faces seem to vary depending on your copy, so it's honestly all just like luck. But these ones seem to be a little bit better than the other ones because I feel like the other ones that were on the floor had like really, really far apart eyes. It was pretty bad. So here's like the resting face, and it's a pretty good face. I like this one a lot. It's like smirk, the earrings, everything looks so good, but they kind of fluff my nut. There's a little bit of a chip in the eye if you like look closely. I think I'll zoom in a second, but that was a little bit disheartening because it's like, come on man, like really? Other than that, it's a pretty good face sculpt, pretty good. I think it's like the face I usually have them in. And then back to this, let's see what's up. And there's the one like pouting face to the side, also really good face. And the one where he looks, you know, a little bit special, you know, wasn't fully done baking in the oven. And as you can see, that his eyes are a little bit more far apart there. And looks a bit grumpy. And then there's that dumbass smiling face. It's just, looks so corny. On the back of the box, you can see what it's supposed to look like, but that's honestly about it. I've gone over the faces already, vocally, but not on footage, but here's basically me comparing the back of the box of what this face is supposed to look like compared to what they actually ended up turning out to be. But now time to move on to the articulation. Okay, now here is Shikamaru in all of his glory, standing up on the default position. Zooming in here, let's go over the articulation. So everything's all good on the front, and then on the back you have the Leaf Clan or Uzumaki, like swirl thing on the back of every Naruto character on their vest or whatever. And that piece does come up a little bit for you to articulate the neck and also for the shoulders, so pretty useful. It's seamed in pretty like seamlessly. It's pretty good. His hair ponytail is on a ball joint and does roll around. It is removable, I'm pretty sure. I just don't feel like testing the waters with that, but it does move. Here's his shoulders. Let's see, his head does tilt side to side pretty fairly even, but obviously a little bit of block from the collar. It goes down that much, goes up about that much, and if you kind of push it forward then look up, you get a little bit more motion. and range, and same with like going side to side. If you like kind of pull it one way and do it to the side, that's what I've been doing. It gets a little bit more range, a little bit awkward, but you get more tilt than you usually would, just kind of by default. And the collar pieces pop up and down for you to get more range of motion for, as I said, the arms and neck. Now here's where I get unlucky. Unfortunately, the left pocket or right pocket on my figure did come loose and did not come glued on properly. I thought they would come off just cause for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. It was just a QE's issue. I just got a super glue back in, nothing crazy, but it's a bit annoying when this figure costs $75 retail. So, you know, you would kind of assume that it would be a little bit better put on, but oh well. I just haven't super glue at the moment, so I'll just have to wait. But every time I pose this guy, this shit just falls off. It's really obnoxious. Arms go about this much. Oh, and right here, as you can see, there's like even plastic chipping, like the excess plastic where it was cut off. There's a lot of like shitty seam lines like that, like you can see right there in a little like before the shoulder. I mean, that's typical, but I feel like it's a bit more noticeable this time around. You can see the seam line straight down the arms and stuff. It's just really ugly. You know, it's kind of bad, you know, considering it's a higher end premium figure, not just like a normal $35 to $40 import, which usually should be. And even like the painting right here where like the white comes at, or the bandages, is also pretty splotchy. I noticed that today in class when I was posing him. I was like, wow, the paint is kind of fucked up there. I was like, it's unbelievable. I feel like the SHF plastic is being more cheapy. I feel like it's really smooth, but like it feels loose almost. Like it's not loose, like it holds its place, but it bends and caves really easily, and I wish it would have some give back to it, like more stern, like firm, and there it is popping off. I wish it had more like, it was more firm. Because like when you have crisp, smooth joints like that, it just becomes a bit too much, because it's like, they're really hard to get into a neutral stance, which is what this figure suffers from, but also because of the way they did the foot joint, which I'll get into in a second when we go over the foot. So back to the figure, enough of the QC complaints. That's what I think I did at first, so I could just glaze the figure after I complained about it. So his arms go about up very, okay, thanks for, I think, oh, this is me talking about the, like the looseness, like just the plastic quality overall. Sounds about right. Okay, so, yeah, like if I push him down a little bit, like his knees will cave in, but it is what it is. So, getting back to the articulation here, let's go over. So the arms go about this much by themselves without even hindering the piece first, which is kind of crazy. It's usually they stop around there, and then the arm does have a drop down, which is pretty impressive. And then it does bend right there at the bicep, and they do cave in pretty easy. Butterfly joint's really good. Even the Maharaga, or the Gangnam Style right there. Oh, snap, Gangnam Style reference. And then as leaf bandana. And they kind of over-engineer it there. Like, there's like an extra joint in there where that like bicep part's at. It's kind of like the SHF Tundra. 2 degrees, arms bend in about that much, of course. And then standard wrist pivot with a little peg. Like, perfect. There's like nothing more you could do better. The pegs are very short. Like the hands do pop off very easily, but they are not loose. Like they don't come flying off, but it's just like the slightest bit of give if you want to get out, they pop off. But it's like not as bad as the Rengoku Figma, where like it has like the same exact size peg, but yet the hands just won't stand for shit. The things fall off like left and right. That bottom crotch piece is made out of rubber, so it's easier for you to bend in and out. There's ab crunch backwards, goes pretty far, and then forward is pretty good too. I think I already showed it off. The pouch is on a ball joint and is removable, but I don't want to test my patience with that one because I feel like as you can see right there's like the white plastic on like the actual green tab it's at. It's just already showing some give, and I feel like with time, if you like fuck with that enough, it's gonna fall off. So I don't even want to test my luck with that. But the pouch does move side to side, and angle it a bit, but that's cool. Twists around that much, pretty good. And the thighs actually do swivel all the way around. I was really impressed with that because with Chainsaw Man and a few of the other figures, like the thighs don't swivel all the way around. They stop at like 3/4 for some reason. But this one goes all the way around. I think because of the pocket piece coming out. And then the knees bend in like this, and they're really like pronounced in a weird way. It's kind of awkward. Because I don't think knees, no, they do that. It just looks a bit weird, but I don't mind it. It's nothing too bad. And then the ankle here has 2 points of motion. It's like the top part where the cuff is at, and then the actual ankle itself. And here's what I mean. It's at an angle, so when you pop the foot out, we can see here, oh, the toe joints, so yeah, they go up and down pretty good. But yeah, it's at an angle, and the way it's like caved in, and you see how like weird that looks? That's why the ankles have such a hard time standing up when you try to get into like just like a neutral position. It's kind of difficult with the way they kind of set it up. Kind of setting you up for failure, but you know, it is what it is. It is really good for motion, but I feel like it's a bit too much, like on the bottom where it curves a bit too much in, while the top of the ankle is more stiff. They should have added a boot cut, if anything. Take some notes from Spider-Man. But yeah, articulation is just really solid. Here's me putting back the pocket. I mean, for what it's worth, man, I mean, the QC's issues are, like, nothing too crazy, but it's, like, you shouldn't look a complete blind eye over it, because for what this is, it's a $75 figure. I mean, I got it for a lot cheaper, but let's see, hold on. So here's size comparison. Shikamaru comes out to about 6 inches with the top of his ponytail, and 5 3/4 without. So, pretty standard size figure, nothing too crazy. And here he is next to Chainsaw Man and Ichigo from the same SHF brand. I would give more comparisons, but yeah. And here's a Marvel Legends Spider-Man again, and there is my Invincible custom. Go ahead and feel frame to flame him. It's the CT Toys symbiote body, so if you have that same CT Toys, you know, it blends right in. But there you go. So overall, this figure is pretty good. I mean, I honestly really like it. Shikamaru is my favorite Naruto character, or one of my favorites, I think, second. And overall, it is a really solid figure. I mean, like, the accessories are good, articulation's great. I just think the QC issues can be some, like, a bit off-putting for some people, depending on, like, because, you know, it's a pricey figure. It's not, like, insanely expensive, but it's not cheap by any means at all, stretch of the imagination. So it is kind of sad to see these, like, things with, like, the face, like, paint and, like, the plastic quality. It's just kind of going down a little bit. So Tamashii does need to step up in that regards with what they're doing. But, I mean, I still like the figure overall. You know, it's not a bad figure. I would recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. I lied. I would wait off until, like, a re-release. Or unless they, like, send you something better your way, if you find any way to improve the figure. But, I mean, it's a good figure. I give it a good 8 out of 10. I think it's we're sort of a good number system here, because I feel like it's too lenient to be like, oh, this figure's good. It's not perfect. But, like, if he just had a little bit tighter joints and didn't have those face problems, this figure would be an easy... Oh, and my thing came glued on, I would give it an easy 10 out of 10. Even though I can fix the pocket thing on my own, I feel like that's kind of a given, you know? But I'll give it the benefit of that. Maybe it's just like the way it was treated in transit, like, it got slammed around a lot or whatever, but it is what it is. So yeah, that is my review on the SHF Shikamaru. I was saying earlier, I didn't compare him to many other figures. I have other figures, I swear. It's just that they're all posed up nicely right now. I do not feel like grabbing them off the shelf and fucking them up, so... Thank you so much, guys, for watching to the end. I'm sorry the editing wasn't, like, anything super entertaining this time around. It's more so, like, a voiceover and just some, like, basic, like, conversation about the figurine. I promise more future videos will be more entertaining than this, but I just want to put this video out so that way we have 2 videos to start off strong with. Here's some pictures of me posing Iron Man from, like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. And that's about it. I mean, if you want to get the figure, go for it. If you guys have any other things you guys want to talk about, or want me to ask any questions, just anything, just drop it down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to respond or say anything. Here's photographic proof of me having other figures to scale with. So, yeah, see you next time. Bye.